Okay, welcome back to our series on Catholic women. My name is Jenny Zahner, and today we'll be talking about Blessed Antonia Mesina. Annetta screamed and ran for help. Giovanni Ignacio, a young man from town, had snuck up behind her companion Antonia, and when Antonia's attempts to break free failed, he had begun striking her with a rock. With his mind fixed on rape, Antonia's fierce defense of her purity turned the young man into a killing machine. Time and again, he struck out in his rage. Breathless, Annetta arrived at the nearest house. The police were called, and accompanied by a group of citizens, they returned to the woods to find the bloody and brutally murdered body of the 16-year-old Antonia. In his rage, Giovanni had struck her 74 times with a heavy rock. As Annetta sobbed out the murderer's name, she recalled that this bloody scene had only minutes before been the site of a tranquil discussion with Antonia about joining Catholic Action. Antonia had told her friend that membership in the group is a beautiful experience and helps one to be good. Holding to their ideals until the end, Antonia had defended her purity even at the cost of her life. Antonia Mesina was born June 21, 1919, in the small town in the high mountains of Sardinia. She was the second of 10 children of a pious couple. Agostino, her father, was a corporal in the cavalry that guarded the rural area around their town. Grazia, her mother, was a devout housewife who attempted to bring her children up as good members of the Catholic faith. Antonia was baptized and confirmed shortly after her birth, according to the custom of the time. She was baptized at the age of 9 days and was confirmed the following year. As a young child, Antonia was lively, obedient, and affectionate. Her teachers and classmates remembered her as being well-liked, well-behaved, and studious. Antonia received her first Holy Communion at the age of 7. At 10, she joined Catholic Action. She was a faithful member until the day of her death and encouraged all her friends to join. Antonia always showed a generous attachment to her own family and consideration and charity towards everyone. During Antonia's 4th year of school, her mother developed a heart condition and was forbidden by the doctors to strain herself or lift anything heavy. Antonia was forced to leave school and take over many of the household duties. She helped with the cooking, the care of the children, the marketing, and the cleaning. The task of washing the family's clothes was her alone, as her mother was not physically capable of helping with this chore. In the testimony for her beatification process, family and friends all testified that she worked cheerfully and diligently at her chores, and accepted the family's modest economic conditions serenely. She was affectionate to the other children in the family and obedient to her parents. Her mother called her the flower of my life. Each week, Antonia baked bread for the family. This involved all parts of the process, including grinding the grain and gathering wood for the fire. On May 17th, she had asked her friend Annetta to go with her to gather wood from the forest. On their walk, Antonia was discussing Catholic Action, trying to get Annetta to join the group. She pointed out that there were many spiritual benefits from the good works that the group performed. She also mentioned the catechetical instruction they received. When the girls had gathered enough wood, they were beginning the walk home when they noticed a teenage boy along the path. Annetta recognized him as a student at her school, but he turned off in a different path, and the girls thought no more of him. Suddenly, Antonia screamed for help. The boy had snuck up behind her and had grabbed Antonia, attempting to force her to the ground. She broke loose twice, but was grabbed a 3rd time and knocked down. The youth then began to strike her on the head and face with a large rock. At first, Giovanni denied his guilt, attempting to hide his bloody clothes. Annetta had identified him, however, and 2 days later he confessed to the murder. He was tried and executed for his crime. Antonia's remains were laid to rest in the local cemetery amid an outpouring of grief from all the residents of her region. They soon began to pray to this humble young woman who chose a brutal death rather than dishonor. Later, her relics were transferred to a tomb in the Church of the Holy Savior. Antonia was beatified as a martyr for purity by Pope John Paul II on October 4th in 1987. Thank you for joining us.